We were in Las Vegas for fight weekend, and nobody could have predicted the result of that fight. We know very well what happened, but before that, at the weigh-in, which is what our usual practice is when we go to Vegas, we actually got to talk to some people, and I bumped into a Mexican legend, boxing champion, Marco Antonio Barrera, and he actually picked Manny Pacquiao to win. Here's that interview.
You once figured in this great rivalry between Mexicans and Filipinos in boxing when you fought Manny Pacquiao, who was a rising star then.
Thank you. Well, was at different times Manny Pacquiao become, but right now he's the best fighter, pound by pound. I think all the people will be a very good fight.
What do you think about Marquez's allegations that he won at least 2 fights in the last 3 fights that he fought Manny Pacquiao?
Right now, Marquez had to put pressure all the time, throw punches, because the last fight he moved all the time. But right now, he said to him, let's go, throw punches all the time, and it's difficult that knock him out at Manny Pacquiao, but he throw more punches.
Philippines versus Mexico in boxing. Do you think it's gonna end ever, the rivalry?
Well, right now it's different because the last years always era Puerto Rico, Mexico. Right now it's Filipinas, Mexico, but I think so that Filipinas got to win in the fights.
Right. What do you think of Manny Pacquiao as a fighter? When he fought you, you were just an amazing legend in Mexican boxing.
Yes, he win me very good. I think so. Right now he's the best. I don't know what happened in this fight, but Manny Pacquiao win the three fights. But right now everything got to be different.
All right.
For Manny.
Any message for Manny Pacquiao?
Manny, I know that you got to win the fight. Good luck. You are the best. Thank you.
What about message for Marquez?
Marquez, you have to put pressure. You have all your win, nothing to lose. You have to put pressure.
And that's what happened. Everything to win, nothing to lose. And that's what happened to Marquez. He won that fight in such a convincing fashion, a knockout. But people are talking about how he got big at his age and hiring Heredia in his camp. Give me your thoughts on that.
I think that there are significant issues there. I think that needs to be questioned. I'm not going to cast aspersions, but a lot of other people have. I think that we need to begin the dialogue on the illegal use of PEDs and other illicit substances, undetectable steroids, HGH, growth hormone. I think that this was interesting. I believe because of the past inactions of Bob Arum, the unwillingness of Manny Pacquiao and Freddie Roach to submit to extra tests like for the Mayweather negotiation, it really put them in a bind. I know that coming into this particular fight, based on what happened last year when Angel Heredia came into that camp for the 3rd fight, that Freddie Roach had asked specifically for an extra set of testing, and he was turned down for whatever reason.
Alex Ariza, though, was saying that it is possible to gain, build a bulk up like that in a short time, and at his age, there's a way to do it, he said. And I think they were going to do that with Manny as well, but then Manny opted to focus on speed.
Well, what Alex says, I think, is generally true. But the gains that he's made at age 39, that is some of the circumstantial evidence that people are going to question. But in terms of the knockout punch, I think this has to be said. That was a perfect punch. I don't think it was a lucky punch, because I think we are talking about the best counterpunch of the last 25 years. And it was also not only a perfect punch, it was a collision. Manny walked into it.
Yes. Marquez didn't even have to extend his arm. It was, what, 2 inches away?
It really was like a baseball getting hit on the sweet spot on the barrel. And it was a 500-foot shot.
And that's why it was shocking as well. I got to interview trainer Robert Garcia after the fight, and here's what he had to say.
Robert Garcia, you're no stranger to Manny Pacquiao. You've trained some of his opponents before. What did you think of this fight?
Well, it was a great fight. Manny Pacquiao was landing some good shots, and had Juan Marquez pretty bad, busted up from his face, but Marquez landed the perfect right hand. There's nothing we could do about it. Maybe Pacquiao got a little bit too much confidence, and they were both going for the knockout, because basically whoever, the fights have been so close that either one had to win by knockout.
Right. Would you say that because the fights have been so close, the winner of this fourth fight is essentially the winner of all the fights of this rivalry?
Well, that's what fans are going to believe, and that's the way fans are going to think, especially Mexican fans. That's the way we might feel. But all three fights have been very close, and they've been so good that we could come back and see a fifth one, and maybe Pacquiao wins. Maybe by knockout. That's just the way it's always going to be. They could face each other 10 times, and you're never going to know who's going to win.
Right. We asked Freddie Roach earlier what he would advise Manny, and he said maybe fifth fight, maybe possible retirement. What would you advise Manny if you had the chance to give advice to him?
Well, that's none of my business in reality. He's got a family, he's got a team, and that's his decision. But he's got so many things in a bright future in the politics. He could become president of the Philippines, and he doesn't need to fight again. He's made so much money in boxing, and he's been champion in like 8 different weight divisions, something that we might never ever see again. So why does he have to fight again? He could, if he wants, he could come back and get some good wins. But why should he? He doesn't have to. He could do other stuff.
What's next for Juan Manuel Marquez? Is this it for him? He's proven a point.
Well, a lot of people are saying that he might retire because, with a good win, he proves a point and doesn't have to fight again. And he's got a lot of money too. But he looked like a 25-year-old, so he could still fight 4 or 5 more years and still be the way he looked today. So Marquez, I would recommend him keep fighting and keep winning and keep getting paid a lot of money.
All right, and you're smiling because you're Mexican. Are you happy?
In reality, it's boxing, it's a business, and I was actually hoping that Pacquiao won because Bob had said that if Pacquiao wins, he fights Brandon Rios in April. So we're a little upset because of that. But my heart really is happy because Marquez won.
So is that totally out of the question, Steve? Brandon Rios versus Manny Pacquiao?
I don't think that's going to happen right now. My personal opinion is, in just gauging some of the comments of Bob Arum to Lance Pugmire on Monday afternoon, I think that the pay-per-view did well. I think there may have been a dip from the usual Manny Pacquiao numbers from what I'm told, but still very, very strong. The live gate did right around $11 million. And the buzz that this fight has created, I find it ironic, because I was one of them that championed this cause, that there was consumer fatigue, there was backlash, and this was going to be like one of those Star Wars prequels that we didn't want to see.
So you admit you made a mistake.
Yeah, here I thought it was going to be Attack of the Clones, and it was Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
So now that there's more interest, I believe that we will see a fifth fight. Freddie Roach clearly said to me yesterday, there is a rematch clause.
Okay, so we'll talk about that when we return on the show, because we had that hanging question earlier. Where does Manny Pacquiao go from here? Robert Garcia said, if he, were to decide for Manny, he's not going to fight again, or he, retirement. We're going to be talking about that. Plus, the words, the answer from Manny Pacquiao himself. I got to interview him, and he talked about retirement. We'll see that when we return. Don't go away.